I've started this intro so many times. What am I doing? Hey everyone! Basically, today's video, I thought we would celebrate the autistic identity and talk about all the things that are amazing to do with autism. Basically, we're celebrating our identity. Autistics, this is time to party. I just feel like this is the time we should. I feel like it's a good reminder. I actually did a post about this, especially with like a comment that was made. I thought from that comment, we would do the opposite and kind of talk about the things that make us incredible and make us amazing and that should be celebrated from one autistic to another. Disclaimer, a lot of it is to do with myself and about me personally, and that's totally cool. If you have a personality traits or different things, celebrate them. We all should be celebrating ourselves in different ways. So if you can relate to a lot of the things I say, hey, we love that. But if you cannot, or you have different traits that I can't relate to that you can, brilliant. Also that I know a lot of neurotypical people also have these traits, and it's not saying that these are only exclusive to autistic people, but it is that a lot of autistic people do have these traits. So guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna celebrate them and we're gonna put our pie hats on and dance around like no one is in the room. I think we should start off with the first point, don't you? Let's start up! Okay, trait number one. But a lot of autistics are actually quite emotionally empathetic, and we, at least for me, I can say that, like, I feel stuff very deeply, so this is why. So because we feel stuff very deeply, when someone starts talking about their issues or their problem, although we necessarily haven't been through and we can empathize with them a lot, and sometimes the way we do it may not be like the neurotypical way. We do it in a different manner, but that does not mean we do not empathize. This also can be said for sometimes with animals. That's not me personally. Every time there's an animal, I get freaked out. I'm like, ah. But for me, at least with humans, bitch, I'm great for empathy, and I will literally just listen to you talk about your problems and be like, yeah, I literally will listen, and that will be the empathy. Me. Number two, our hyper-focus on our specialized interests. So, luckily for us autistics, when it comes to our specialized interests, we can become hyper-focused. Now, I know that sometimes it can get to the point of distracting us from our things that we need to do in our daily lives, but sometimes it can be used to our advantage. So, for example, as you know, one of mine is YouTube and fashion. Can you tell by the matching set I'm wearing? Bitch! I could use this for my future career as a fashion videographer. And another thing that's one of my specialized interests is music. So if you could not tell from behind me, I have a lot of CDs, vinyls, and Spotify playlists. So I love music, and through that I can connect with people. And I think when you have that interest and when you are really passionate into it, it's so amazing because it can show off this energy, and it's just like, especially when you feel happy doing your specialized interest, it's the best feeling. And when you feel that, ooh, bitch, everything feels great. You know, everything just feels good. Oh. Another thing that makes us great as autistic people is that we do not judge. We very, very rarely judge people. Now, I know this, especially for me, I'm not very judgmental, and I don't really have these like preconceived ideas of people. I'm usually like pretty open-minded when it comes to people, which then again, plus with my empathy, this is when I am very much like, I want everyone to be treated equally because I wouldn't want anyone to be treated less because I don't judge people based off stereotypes and everything like that. But also in the other sense of like, if I walk into a room and there's a bunch of people I don't know, I'm not really gonna judge them unless I know them. Just treat people fairly. As Selena Gomez would say, kill them with kindness. I feel that's a very big autistic trait, and I have a feeling that a lot of autistic people do feel that, which is why I would say a lot of autistic people are very welcoming with open arms, like a giant hug, like, ah. This is me hugging you also, by the way. Okay, next point. Oh my god, are we adding a bit of depth with the flowers in the corner? I think we are. Another positive autistic thing is that we are very analytical. Now, I can at least say this for myself. I can analyze stuff that doesn't need to be analyzed. Like 1989, bitch, I can analyze that album like no other. Give me High School Musical and I can give you a whole analysis on it. The Devil Wears Prada, brilliant analysis on that. And this is how me and my friend literally Kat talk all the time. We'll analyze different things in such depth, and I'm like, yes, queen. Honestly, I love that. And it's really good because that means you are able to analyze different things. And again, obviously this can be great, especially if you're analytical when it comes to doing stuff like English language or any dissertations in that respect, yes. But also, you can be very analytical in the other sense of like analyzing how the world is, and then you can kind of like go, very interesting. There are some great points about being analytical, okay? Okay, so what else is great about being autistic? Wow. We actually are surprisingly quite a creative bunch, don't you think? For me, I am very creative with makeup. Do you see looks I have made? I have giving you everything you need. I'm also very creative within like the stuff I like to do, so fashion as well. But also, a lot of autistics are creative in other senses. So for example, autistic creators on TikTok are creating TikToks that are about autism. It's very creative because not many people would do that. So us doing it is creative. Also, we have so many famous people who are like geniuses that are autistic as well. So like Bill Gates, Stephen Wiltshire, Albert Einstein. So do not say we're not creative, because bitches we are. But we can also be academic if we want to, because we are multifaceted human beings. Bitch. Something else that we are very honest. We are very honest human beings. Even if we don't mean to be, like we end up being honest and we end up telling the truth. Like I am a terrible liar. I am very good at telling the truth, and honestly, we like to be honest, which means we're great in a relationship in that way. So if we need to tell you something, we will tell you to your face. So even when I was dating, I told people the truth. Like if I didn't find someone attractive, I was like, honestly, I don't see it working between us. We are good and honest, and a lot of people appreciate that. But if you are honest, we appreciate you in life. Yes, we do. Okay, so basically, another thing I know is because of my autism is this attention to detail that I have, and that makes me appreciate even more little things in life. Insert vision board video. There are little things that I do in life that make life just a billion times better that I appreciate. So let me give you a couple examples. So one, I don't know about you, but you know when it's like the night or when you see bright lights, so what I tend to do is I like to squint my eyes. What happens is that it tends to transform into a star point lens kind of effect, and honestly, it's beautiful. And that excites me so much. It leads me to like get really excited and like to stim, and I'm like, bitch. But also when it comes to movie nights, bitch, we have an experience. So what I tend to do, that I tend to put on my neon light, and I put on this like little light that I have below that changes colors, and I go into bed, put my weighted blanket on, and I get all comfy, and I put my film on, and I'm just in total bliss. I'm joyous. Like no matter what film it is, I'm already gonna love the film. Like I'm enjoying it, I'm having the time of my life, and it feels so good. And it feels so good. But those little things in life that many people would be like, oh, that's just like nothing, make it so much more better. And those are the things that I definitely appreciate. And I know it's because of my senses, because of my higher senses being like, bitch, we love this music, bitch, that's why I love it. Okay, so another thing that I think this is because of my autism, but I do think it depends from person to person, is memory. Actually, I have a really good memory, and I can remember really weird things. Like when I was like 2 or something in a buggy with me and my sister walking to pick up my older sister from school. And I can remember me when I was a 1 or 2 year old putting my hand in the VHS player to put in like a videotape. I think I was putting in one of Synchro. Some of us have really good memories. Again, it can help us in so many different ways. For example, for exams and stuff like that, as soon as we start remembering, we are very good at it. Although not all of us do, and that's fine. It depends from person to person, but we're just gonna roll with it. So if you have a good memory, bitch, let's celebrate that also. Another one that I feel like this could definitely be one is we enjoy time with people that we care about, but at the same time, we also are very good about our time by ourselves. I think we definitely know what makes us feel good and what makes us feel like loved through ourselves. When we are by ourselves, it's actually something that sometimes is really helpful. And I definitely know that like sometimes the only way for me to process information is just me being by myself and me doing something that's calming. And honestly, like it feels good. And that's also many ways how we are able to talk about our specialized interest and to do stuff that makes us feel good. But when we're with the right people, we feel free, we don't have to mask, we just feel like we can truly be ourselves. And those people are aces. Like if you're one of those people out there, for me, like you are that bitch. You are an ace bitch, and we stan you in this household. With the people who truly care about you and you can truly be yourself too, celebrate that, and also celebrate yourself. You are so incredible, and treat yourself, make yourself feel good. This one I feel like is actually really cute, and I feel like it's really sweet, because I think we can all definitely say that us as human beings, we are all so different from each other. No autistic person is the same, and I feel like that's also something to celebrate, because as much as we go through very similar struggles and we have similar things, we all have like different things that make us happy, different specialized interests. I think sometimes, again, in this world, like we want to be part of communities, and I think communities are incredible. But I said this in one of my other videos, like remember, you are a unique member of that community, and every person of the autistic community is a unique member and should be celebrated in their own ways. With intersectionality, you are a unique human, celebrate that. And I feel like it's so incredible because it also shows that we're very multifaceted and we know what we like and what we don't like. And so because of that, in a way, we become unique members of the autistic community, and we also then belong to other communities, and we're fine with that. For example, I know a lot of autistics who are actually performers, and that's sick. But I'm a fashion kid, and it's probably a bunch of other autistics who are fashion people, and we're just like, yes, together. And I feel like we can be celebrated in different ways, so that's why I think we are unique. I wanted to talk about the last point because I feel like this is more to do with the community itself versus a trait, which is that the autistic community is really accepting and opening. Now, granted, I've only discovered this community a year ago. Now, you're probably like, Steph, you've been diagnosed since you were 2, what do you mean? And now it's probably because it sounds really weird to say, and I don't know if other autistics can relate to this, but like after going to an autistic school for like 2 years, I never really interact with much autistic people, which sounds weird, I know. Like even when I was in secondary school, because I was able to do stuff by myself and I wasn't able to be part of the neurotypical classes and stuff like that, I'm guessing the school was just like, bitch, he's fine. I kind of felt excluded from that. And that probably taught me when I was younger that like I was too able to function as like a neurotypical human to gain support, and especially felt that during my foundation year. So for me, when I was discovering this community last year, it felt like A, a breath of fresh air, and B, just felt like I was welcome. Although like no one knew who I was, I just felt so accepted and so like, wow, I feel seen. I feel so seen. Honestly, I've learned so much about myself from them, so that's why I was like, I have to give the autistic community credit for doing that. And now I want to use my voice to make sure that anyone autistic does not feel alone within their identity, because it can be scary and really isolating. I know that for a fact. So any autistics out there, you want to chat about being autistic? I'm here, bitch. I feel like that's something to celebrate as well. If you're autistic watching this, you are part of this community, so you shall be celebrated. And that's it. We have done the video. I hope you actually enjoyed this. Please comment down below any more autism videos you want to see, and I shall see you guys next week with a brand new video. Cheers, adios, goodbye people, goodbye.